We do have a quorum. To my right, Councilwoman Bass and Councilman Tautenberger, and to my left, appointed by the Council President, Councilman Jones. Mr. McMonagle, would you like to read the title of the... before we start, for the record, I'd just like to read Bill number 180955 is on hold from the call of the sponsor. Thank you. Mr. McMonagle, please read the title of the first bill.
Bill number 180733, an ordinance establishing parking regulations in the vicinity of Wharton Street and 16th Street, Rosewood Street and Mifflin Street, Porter Street and Broad Street, Eisminger Street and Oregon Avenue, Montrose Street and 19th Street, Catherine Street and Banbury Streets. And Bill number 180734, an ordinance establishing parking regulations in the vicinity of Grays Ferry Avenue and Christian Street and 23rd Street, Darn Street and Catherine Street, Eisminger Street and Johnson Street, Camac Street and Tasker Street, 17th Street and Fitzwater Street. And Bill number 180735, an ordinance establishing parking regulations in the vicinity of Christian Street and 22nd Street, 15th Street and Wolf Street, Wharton Street and 15th Street, Pemberton Street and 22nd Street, Bainbridge Street and 26th Street. And Bill number 180869, an ordinance establishing parking regulations in the vicinity of Mole Street and Ellsworth Street, St. Albans Street and 23rd Street, Kimball Street and 20th Street, Cater Street and 21st Street, Dickinson Street and 15th Street, Carpenter Street and 20th Street, 8th Street and Oregon Avenue. And Bill number 180952, an ordinance establishing parking regulations in the vicinity of Fitzwater Street and South 23rd Street, Fitzwater Street and South 12th Street, Carpenter Street and South 18th Street, Christian Street and Grays Ferry Avenue, Christian Street and South 20th Street, Christian Street and Grays Ferry Avenue, Christian Street and South 20th Street, Christian Street and South 21st Avenue.
Thank you. Please state your name for the record and proceed with your testimony.
Dion Bracely. Good day, Council. My name is Dion Bracely, Deputy Manager for the Philadelphia Parking Authority. Thank you for allowing me to testify before Council regarding ordinances 180733, 180734, 180735, 180869, and 180952, establishing parking regulations. The Philadelphia Parking Authority has no objection to the ordinances previously read before Council and recommends favorable consideration. Thank you again.
Thank you for your brief testimony. Any questions? Seeing none, anyone else here to testify on bill numbers 180733, 180734, 180735, 180869, and 180952? Seeing none, Mr. McMonagle, please read the title of the next bill.
Bill number 180868, an ordinance amending Chapter 12-3000 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Use of an Automated Red Light Enforcement System to Prevent Red Light Violations by authorizing the installation of red light enforcement systems at the intersection of 70th and Lindbergh Boulevard, all under certain terms and conditions.
Please proceed with your testimony. State your name for the record. Thank you.
Corinne O'Connor, Deputy Executive Director of Philadelphia Parking Authority. Good morning. My name is Corinne O'Connor. I am the Deputy Executive Director of the Philadelphia Parking Authority. I would like to thank the members of this committee for allowing me to testify today. I would also like to thank the Councilman Kenyatta-Johnson for introducing this legislation. I'm testifying in favor of Bill 180868, which would add an additional intersection to the red light camera program in the city. This intersection will be located at 70th and Lindbergh Boulevard. I would like to commend Council for its past excellent and most times unanimous support for this program. Since the first camera was activated at Grant Roosevelt Boulevard on February 23, 2005, the program has been successful in its main goals, decreasing red light running and changing the behavior of our driving public. As of today, there are 130 cameras at 30 intersections throughout the city of Philadelphia. The intersection of 70th and Lindbergh is a highly traveled area. This area has seen the main United States Post Office facilities move to this location in recent years, which has affected the growth of this area. With any type of growth, you will see the increase of bringing visitors to the stadium area and the Philadelphia airport. You will see an increase also in pedestrian traffic. I believe that red light cameras will change the behavior of motorists here, as they have in other parts of the city, to make driving in this area a safer experience. I ask that the committee give Bill 180868 a favorable recommendation, request that the rules be suspended to allow for first reading at the next council session. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Chairman Squilla, and members of the Streets and Services Committee. My name is St. Martin Torrance, and I'm here to testify on Bill number 180868. This regulation will be a step towards enhancing safety at the intersection of 70th Street and Lindbergh Boulevard by reducing serious crashes that can possibly result in major injuries to vehicle occupants, pedestrians, and cyclists, and can cause property damage. This bill reconciles with Mayor Kenny's Vision Zero executive order. As such, the Department of Streets fully supports this bill. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today. This concludes my testimony.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions? Seeing none, is there anyone else here to testify on Bill number 180868? Seeing none, thank you so much. Mr. McMonigal, please read the title of the next bill.
Bill number 180866, an ordinance amending Section 9-205 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Sidewalk Sales by prohibiting vending on both sides of 77th Street between City Avenue and Overbrook Avenue, all under certain terms and conditions.
Thank you, Rebecca. Just state your name for the record and then proceed with your testimony.
Rebecca Swanson from the Department of Licenses and Inspections. Good morning, Chairman Squilla and members of the Committee on Streets and Services. I am here to provide testimony on Bill number 180866, which would amend Section 9205 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Sidewalk Sales. The bill would prohibit sidewalk sales on both sides of 77th Street between City Avenue and Overbrook Avenue. The department has no objections to this bill and is prepared to enforce its provision should it become law. Thank you for the opportunity to provide the department's testimony.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions? Seeing none, anyone else here to testify on Bill number 180866? Seeing none, thank you. For the record, I'd just like to announce Councilman Johnson's attendance at the hearing. Mr. McMonigal, please read the title of the next bill.
Bill number 180604, an ordinance authorizing the revision of lines and grades on a portion of City Plan number 222 by striking from the City Plan and vacating the legally open portion of Bristol Street from Adams Avenue to Frankfort Creek Channel, striking from the City Plan and vacating Leeper Street from Adams Avenue to the Frankfort Creek Channel, striking from the City Plan Deal Street from Leeper Street to a point northeastwardly therefrom, and reserving and placing on the City Plan a right-of-way for sewer and drainage purposes within the lines of Bristol Street being stricken, all under certain terms and conditions.
Thank you. Before you start, I'd also like to recognize Councilman Greenlee as attendant for the hearing. Please proceed, state your name for the record, and proceed with your testimony.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Frank Morelli, Survey Bureau Manager for the Department of Streets, and the Department of Streets would like to offer the following testimony on Bill number 180604. This is not an administration ordinance, but an ordinance requested by Mr. Andrew Krunfeld of AMK Resources Corp. On behalf of Adams 1300 LP. The purpose for this proposed ordinance is to authorize the striking from the city plan of Bristol Street and Leeper Street, each from Adams Avenue to the westerly side of the Frankfort Creek Channel, and Deal Street from Leeper Street to a point approximately 118 feet northeastwardly therefrom. These streets are not currently paved and not in use by public traffic. The Streets Department is not desirous of opening and constructing streets at these locations. A right-of-way will be reserved in the portion of Bristol Street being stricken to encompass the existing sewer extending through this street. The striking of these unimproved streets will remove them as encumbrances on the underlying property and will allow the consolidation of several adjoining parcels. This ordinance is supported by the Department of Streets and is recommended to your committee for favorable action. I thank you for the opportunity to testify before you today and would be pleased to answer any questions you may have.
Good morning, Chairman Squilla and members of Streets and Services Committee. I'm Sarah Chu, City Planner with the Philadelphia City Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on Bill number 180604, which was introduced by Councilmember Sánchez on June 7th, 2018. Bill number 180604 will strike and vacate the legally open portion of Bristol Street and Leeper Street from Adams Avenue to the west side of Frankfort Creek Channel, as well as to strike and vacate a portion of Deal Street from Leeper Street to his terminus. All of the streets at this location are paper streets. They're not physically paved or open to public traffic. This legislation is to help the property owner to consolidate parcels. At its meeting on July 17, 2018, the Planning Commission recommended a Bill number 180604 be approved and also to allow the future Frankfort Creek Trail the ability to cross over the creek within the proximity of Leeper Street. This concludes my testimony. I appreciate the opportunity to testify before you today, and be pleased to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions? Seeing none, is there anyone else here to testify on Bill number 180604? Seeing none, thank you. Mr. McMonigle, please read the title of the next bill.
Bill number 180841, an ordinance authorizing the revision of lines and grades on a portion of City Plan numbers 282 and 291 by relocating the southwesterly house line of Cotman Avenue from State Road to a point northwestwardly therefrom, a variable distance southwestwardly, and relocating the northwesterly house line of State Road from Cotman Avenue to a point southwestwardly therefrom, a variable distance northwestwardly thereby widening said Cotman Avenue and said State Road under certain terms and conditions.
Please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Frank Morelli, Survey Bureau Manager for the Department of Streets, and the Department of Streets would like to offer the following testimony on Bill number 180841. This is not an administration ordinance, but an ordinance requested by Mr. Guy DiMartino of Traffic Planning and Design, Incorporated, on behalf of Polystat, Inc. The purpose of this proposed ordinance is to authorize the relocation of the southwesterly house line of Cotman Avenue from State Road to a point approximately 505 feet northwestwardly therefrom, and the relocation of the northwesterly house line of State Road from Cotman Avenue to a point approximately 275 feet southwestwardly therefrom, thereby widening said Cotman Avenue and State Road. These actions will increase the capacity and improve function of the intersection of Cotman Avenue and State Road and facilitate vehicular access to a new Wawa convenience store proposed for the abutting site. This ordinance is supported by the Department of Streets and is recommended to your committee for favorable action. I thank you for the opportunity to testify before you today and would be pleased to answer any questions you may have.
Good morning, Chairman Squilla and members of Streets and Services Committee. I'm Sarah Chu, City Planner with the Philadelphia City Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on Bill number 180841, which was introduced by Councilmember Squilla for Councilmember Heenan on September 27, 2018. This action is to help the current property owner and developer to redevelop the site into a Wawa convenience market and with field and a Taco Bell restaurant. As part of the project, the developer proposed to construct a right-turn lane on the eastbound on Cotman Avenue to improve the capacity and operation at the signalized intersection. This portion of the roadway and right-of-way will be widened on Cotman Avenue, with a variable width increased from 4 feet 6 inches to approximately 16 feet 9 inches. Additionally, portion of State Road will be increased by 3 feet in the right-of-way. These increased right-of-ways will also be dedicated to PennDOT. At its meeting on October 16, 2018, the Planning Commission recommended Bill number 180841 be approved. This concludes my testimony. I appreciate the opportunity to testify before you today and be pleased to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony. Any questions? Seeing none, is there anyone else here to testify on Bill number 180841? Seeing none, thank you. Mr. McMonigle, please read the title of the next bill.
180601, an ordinance legalizing an existing stairway enclosure at 2048 South 21st Street, Philadelphia, PA 19145, all under certain terms and conditions.
Please proceed.
Good morning, Chairman Squilla and members of the Streets and Services Committee. My name is St. Martin Torrance, and I'm the Director of Legislative Affairs for the Department of Streets. I'm here to offer testimony on Bill number 180601. This bill legalizes an existing stairway enclosure at 2048 South 21st Street under certain terms and conditions. The Department of Streets opposes this encroachment because the enclosure was built without permits and serves no public good. Approval of this structure will set a precedent for similar encroachments in the future. Thank you for your time. This concludes my testimony.
Good morning, Chairman Squilla and members of the Streets and Services Committee. I'm Sarah Chu, City Planner with the Philadelphia City Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on Bill number 180601, which was introduced by Councilmember Johnson on June 7, 2018. Bill number 180601 will legalize an existing stairway enclosure at 2048 South 21st Street. The enclosure encroaches on the northern footway of Snyder Avenue for 4 feet 11 inches, leaves 7 feet 6 inches of passable sidewalk space. The Planning Commission had the following concerns for this proposal. The stairway enclosure is not an improvement to the public realm in this neighborhood, nor it is abutting to building. It blocks the existing windows and it changes the character of the building. Therefore, at its meeting on July 17, 2018, the Planning Commission recommended Bill number 180601 not be approved. This concludes my testimony. Appreciate the opportunity to testify before you today, and be pleased to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, is there anyone else here to testify on bill number 180601? Thank you. Mr. McMonigle, please read the title of the next bill.
Bill number 180890, an ordinance authorizing Charles Wiener, DBA Chubby Steaks, to install, own, and maintain an open-air sidewalk cafe at 5826 Henry Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19128, all under certain terms and conditions.
Good morning, Chairman Squilla and members of the Streets and Services Committee. My name is St. Martin Torrance, and I'm the Director of Legislative Affairs for the Department of Streets. I'm here to offer testimony on bill number 180890. This bill authorizes Charles Wiener, doing business as Chubby Steaks, to install, own, and maintain an open-air sidewalk cafe at 5826 Henry Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19128, under certain terms and conditions. The Department of Streets does not oppose this ordinance. Thank you for your time. This concludes my testimony.
Good morning, Chairman Squilla and members of Streets and Services Committee. I'm Sarah Chu, City Planner with the Philadelphia City Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on bill number 180890, which was introduced by Councilmember Jones on October 11, 2018. Bill number 180890 will permit a sidewalk cafe and removable rail encroachment at 5826 Henry Avenue. The cafe and rail will encroach into the south footway of Henry Avenue for approximately 8 feet, leaving 5 feet clear and unobstructed footway for pedestrians. The City Complete Streets policy standards require a minimum 5 feet walking zone on Henry Avenue. This encroachment meets the minimum walking zone requirement. The Planning Commission is scheduled to consider this bill at its meeting on November 27th with a staff recommendation for approval. This concludes my testimony. I appreciate the opportunity to testify before you today, and be pleased to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Seeing none, is there anyone else here to testify on 180890? Seeing none, thank you. Mr. McMonigle, please read the title of the next bill.
Bill number 180891, an ordinance legalizing an existing garage extension encroachment at 1601 South 17th Street, Philadelphia, PA 19145, all under certain terms and conditions.
Please proceed.
Good morning, Chairman Squilla and members of the Streets and Services Committee. My name is St. Martin Torrance. I'm Director of Legislative Affairs for the Department of Streets. I'm here to offer testimony on bill number 180891. This bill legalizes an existing garage extension encroachment at 1601 South 17th Street, all under certain terms and conditions. The Department of Streets opposes this ordinance because garage extensions are strictly prohibited by Section 11-604, subsection 7 of the Philadelphia Code. Approval of this encroachment sets a precedent for future proposals of encroachments of a similar character. In order to allow encroachments of this type, the Department recommends the revision of Title 11 of the Code and grant the Streets Department the authority to establish regulations and standards around all encroachments rather than approving them as individual acts of legislation. In addition, allowing the garage extension in this case to formally create off-street parking for the referenced property serves no public benefit, as it will remove a minimum of 2 on-street parking spaces. Thank you for your time. This concludes my testimony.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions? Seeing none, is there any other testimony on bill number 180891? Seeing none. Thank you for your testimony. Mr. McMonigle, please read the title of the next bill.
Bill number 180871, an ordinance revising parking restrictions on East Willow Grove Avenue, both sides between Crittenden Street and Stenton Avenue.
Good morning, Chairman Squilla, members of the Streets and Services Committee. My name is St. Martin Torrance. I'm here to testify on bill number 180871. The Department of Streets has no objections to this bill. These regulations were established on a trial basis beginning on October 31st, 2017. Thank you for your opportunity to appear before you today. That concludes my testimony.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, anyone else here to testify on bill number 180871? Seeing none, Mr. McMonigle, please read the title of the next bill.
Bill number 180956, an ordinance establishing parking restrictions on East Washington Lane, both sides between Crittenden Street and Stanton Avenue.
Morning, Chairman Squilla, members of the Streets and Services Committee. My name is St. Martin Torrance. I'm Director of Legislative Affairs for the Department of Streets. I'm here to offer testimony on Bill number 180956. The Department of Streets has no objections to this bill. This parking regulation can be posted within 30 days of the passage of this bill. Thank you for your time. This concludes my testimony.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, anyone else here to testify on Bill number 180956? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony. Mr. McMonigle, please read the title of the next bills.
Bill number 180646, an ordinance establishing a no truck parking regulation on the 9100 block of Ryerson Road, both sides.
Morning, Chairman Squilla, members of the Streets and Services Committee. My name is St. Martin Torrance. I'm Director of Legislative Affairs for the Department of Streets. I'm here to offer testimony on Bill number 180646. The regulation was posted on July 27th, 2018 as a trial. During this period, we have received no complaints or concerns from citizens. As such, the Department of Streets has no objections to this bill. Thank you for your time. This concludes my testimony.
Thank you for your testimony. We were just discussing, the next couple we're going to do as a group, read them all, and then you could testify to all of them. Any questions? Seeing none, anyone else here to testify on Bill number 180646? Seeing none, Mr. McGonigal, please read the title of the next bills.
Bill number 180647, an ordinance establishing a no truck parking regulation on the 2800 block of Willits Road, both sides. And Bill number 180694, an ordinance establishing a no truck parking regulation on the 3400 block of Oakmont Street, both sides. And Bill number 180730, an ordinance establishing a no truck parking regulation on both sides of Dittman Street from Cotman Avenue to Rawn Street. And Bill number 180731, an ordinance establishing a no truck parking regulation on the 41 and 4200 blocks of Passmore Street, both sides. And Bill number 180947, an ordinance establishing a no truck parking regulation on the 8000 block of Crispin Street, both sides.
Please proceed.
Good morning, Chairman Squilla, members of the Streets and Services Committee. My name is St. Martin Torrance. I'm Director of Legislative Affairs for the Department of Streets. I'm here to offer testimony on the aforementioned bills. The Streets Department has no objections to any of these ordinances. Appreciate your time. That concludes my testimony.
Thank you very much. That was great. Any questions, Councilman Tautenberger?
Yeah, very, very quick. Are these, as far as you know, already posted, these signs for no truck parking? Or they will be posted?
They will be posted within 30 days of the passage
of the...
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, anyone else here to testify on Bill number 180647, 180694, 180730, 180731, or 180947? Seeing none, Mr. McMonigle, would you like to? All right, thank you for your testimony. Mr. McMonigle, please read the title, Bill number 180867.
Bill number 180867, an ordinance amending Chapter 12-2700 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Permit Parking Districts by amending the boundaries for Permit Parking District 2 and Permit Parking District 31, all under certain terms and conditions.
Thank you. We do not have any testimony from the Administration of Parking Authority on this bill, but if there's any questions, and anywhere else, nobody else here to testify on Bill number 180867. Thank you. Mr. McMonigle, please read the title of the next bill.
Bill number 180946, an ordinance amending Chapter 10-700 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Refuse and Littering to designate certain blocks as litter enforcement corridors pursuant to Title 75 of the Pennsylvania Consolidated Statutes under certain terms and conditions.
Thank you, Nick. You can proceed with your testimony for the Bill 180-946 as amended. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Chairman Squilla, members of the committee. My name is Nick Esposito. I'm the director of the Zero Waste and Litter Cabinet in the Managing Director's Office. I'm here to offer testimony for Bill number 180-946, which establishes litter enforcement corridors in Philadelphia as per authorization through Pennsylvania Act 62, amending state codes 18 and 75. As you all know, illegal dumping continues to be one of the most serious issues facing Philadelphia. On average, it costs us about over $8 million a year in cleanup costs just on these heavy illegal dumps, and is a huge issue for quality of life for our residents and businesses. City Council has taken many important steps to combat illegal dumping, such as Councilman Green's 2017 bill that increased Philadelphia's local fines from $1,000 to the first offense up to $2,000 for the third offense, and Councilman Heenan's bill that aligned the Philadelphia Code with state code for vehicle forfeiture. The Cabinet also worked with the Philadelphia Police to establish an environmental crimes unit and have worked with the DA's office to ensure proper prosecution of illegal dumpers. So it was reaffirming for the state legislature to pass Act 62 to create litter enforcement corridors that doubles the current fine of $300 for throwing litter from a moving car and triples our municipal fines for commercial businesses that scatter rubbish using a vehicle on certain corridors that we can justify as corridors where illegal or where litter and illegal dumping are greatly affecting the quality of life for residents and business owners. The Zero Waste and Litter Cabinet is excited that the City of Philadelphia can capitalize on this legislation and send an even stronger message that illegal dumping and littering will not be tolerated in any part of Philadelphia, but specifically will not be tolerated on the corridors designated in this particular bill. From an enforcement standpoint, the more places that we can deter illegal dumping through increased fines as well as development and beautification of vacant lots will narrow down the areas we need to enforce and allow us to be even more effective in eliminating illegal dumping in Philadelphia. The Streets Department will erect signage, give a notice to the increased penalties for certain littering violations applicable on the designated blocks. And on behalf of the Zero Waste and Litter Cabinet, we thank Councilman Heenan for introducing this legislation and his staff for working with other City Council offices and the Cabinet to use the litter index data and district assessments to research the most appropriate corridors to designate as litter enforcement corridors as listed in the bill. I understand there will be some amendments to some of the addresses and which we're in support of, and I'll be happy to respond to any questions.
Thank you, Nick, and we thank you and appreciate your service as the Litter Cabinet is gearing up and moving into action, which is exciting for the City of Philadelphia to eradicate litter throughout the city and work toward zero waste. Any questions? Seeing none, anyone else here to testify on bill number 180-946? Seeing none. Thank you so much for your testimony. That will end our hearing. We will now go into committee. I'd like to recognize Councilman Greenlee to read the amendments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the following bills be amended as has been provided to the committee. The amendments to bill number 180-869, 180-601, and 180-946. I move those amendments be approved.
Second.
Bills have been amended and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Bills read into the record 180-869, 180-601, and 180-946 have been amended. Councilman Greenlee, I'd like to read the bills to be moved out of committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the following bills be reported out as committee with favorable recommendation and the rules of council be suspended to allow for first reading at the next session of council. Bills 180-733, 180-734, 180-735, 180-869 as amended, 180-952, 180-868, 180-866, 180-604, 180-841, 180-601 as amended, 180-890, 180-891, 180-871, 180-956, 180-646, 180-647, 180-694, 180-730, 180-731, 180-947, 180-867, and 180-946 as amended.
Second.
Thank you. All bills read into the record have been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. All bills have been passed with a suspension of the rules to be read in the next session of council. Thank you. That'll end our hearing. Committee. Thanks.